Hello world, Shelly here, and it's time for another episode of Foundation Fest, and today I'm doing something I do not normally do, and that is wearing a powder foundation. We are going to check out the NATASHA DENONA Hy-GLAM powder foundation. This one retails for $55 for 12.5 grams or 0.44 ounces of a product. Comes in 36 different shades. I've got it in shade N2. They describe this as following her success of her viral Hy-GLAM concealer sensation, NATASHA DENONA introduces her Hy-GLAM powder foundation. This blurring Flex Tech hybrid powder delivers a poreless, oil-controlled, perfected second skin finish while caring for your skin. Now, anytime anything mentions oil control, that usually means it's not for me. I have dry and dehydrated skin. However, a browse through the ingredient list really looks like they've done as much as they can to make this a non-drying type of formula. We've got some, mica, of course, but for the sort of hydrating or emollient kinds of properties, typical dimethicone-based foundation. But we've got caprylic capric triglycerides, which is an oil like MCT oil that I really love the skin feel of. It's got avocado oil, glycerin, raspberry leaf extract. It's a pretty simple ingredient list. So I'm curious. We're gonna go with they say you can get up to medium coverage with this. I'm gonna go light to medium. Quick face before work. Gotta leave pretty soon. And I do like the packaging. It's a matte sort of a container with the gold accents, and it's like a double lift. So you lift here and you get the product, and then there's a little notch that you can lift to get the sponge, which I do have here. So, and it does have a mirror. I have not taken my little cover off of the mirror yet, but let's take a look at shade N2, swatched against a few others in my collection. Swatch time. First up is today's foundation from NATASHA DENONA, the Hy-GLAM powder foundation in shade N2. Next to it, I've got from Charlotte Tilbury, the Airbrush Flawless Finish in One Fair. Third up, I've got from Estee Lauder, the Double Wear Stay in Place in 1C1 Cool Bone. And last, I've got from Wet n Wild, the Tinted Hydrator in Fair. I've already cleansed, moisturized, and sunscreened this 49-year-old face. I am going to go in, or I already went in, with a little bit of the Lawless Forget the Filler. This is their Skin Plumping Line Smoothing Perfecting Cream. Just knowing that I'm dry-skinned, I want to lock in my morning skincare moisture as best I can. I have also primed with, this is one that I made myself. I am testing it out. It is a Blue Tansy pore blurring primer. I've put that mainly in my pore areas here, a little on my forehead, a little on my chin, where I like to lose coverage. So I feel like I'm as plumped up and hydrated as I possibly can be going into this. I'm going to use the foam spongy thing that they have provided with the foundation. Before I do that, I am going to go in with a little bit of concealer and spot conceal. This is my Fiera Luxury Concealer in, let's see, beige something. Neutral beige. Woo! Oh, I just got it all over my shirt. That's a bummer. Bummer. I still gotta go to work. It's gonna be one of those days. I'm filming this on a Monday. Can you tell? It is very Monday right now. So I'm going to take it on my under eye, but then I'm going to just kind of take it down onto my cheek to use as a little bit of, just a little bit of coverage there where my blue blood vessel is. Under my eye. I love this concealer. It's really good. I loved it when I reviewed it. I probably love it even a little bit more now. The only thing I don't like is the tube that you just squeeze out, and I don't like the packaging, but I make it work because I like it. I'm going to get a little bit more on my sunspots. That was just a tiny bit. I probably need a little bit more, but I'm not going to do it. There we go. I could go on my chin and everywhere else, but I'm not going to. We're just gonna roll with it. We are just gonna roll with it. Alright, let's get this Natasha Denona here. It's got the cute little thing that you tuck your fingers into to make it easier. They say to use the spongy thing if you're applying this as foundation, and to use a powder brush if you are instead using it for a setting powder. I'm going to treat it as foundation. Try to do half my face first. Shade looks okay. I went neutral, but that's usually my summer shade. Neutral is. I'm a little leaning neutral in the summer. I'm leaning cool in the winter. Just the tiniest smidge. I'm technically a neutral undertone. So, alright. Gosh, it's been a minute since I've used powder foundation. I don't even have any degree of comfort level as far as, am I even doing this right? It's been so long. It does look really smooth though. Like, I'm comparing the pores on this side of my face to this side, and that is some smooth. Like, that's even smoother than like a good smoothing liquid foundation. I feel like I can't even see my pores. That's nice. It does, of course, have a matte finish, which takes away any of the reflect, which I'm not used to. I've been a dewy girl for a minute. But, yeah, I'd say we have some light coverage going on, some redness correction happening, some smoothing. Let's get the other side. I'm kind of just pressing it into the skin and then doing little, drag to blend type of a situation. I don't know. I do what I want. I just wear my makeup. Is it right? Is it wrong? I don't know. I don't think there is a right and a wrong. I am not a professional. Yeah, this is really smoothing. I'm interested to get close up into my 10x mirror here, because if this looks as nice up close as it does at a distance, then I might be thinking, why am I not wearing powder more often? Has powder come a long way in the last few years or something and I missed it? It could be. Oh, look, you see my pillow lines? I was sleeping. I was sleeping like the dead, y'all. I was out. I'm gonna get my eyelids just a little bit. Maybe it'll help my primer stick on my eyes. Alright. Let's close this up. Let's get the little spongy back where it belongs so I don't lose it. Let me zoom you guys in. Let's take a look up close. Yeah, this is incredibly smooth. Incredibly smooth. Like, wow. Yes, that's very smooth. I don't know if I would consider this able to get up to medium coverage. I would say we are at the low end, like a high light coverage right now. Maybe the low end of medium, but I can still see all my sunspots coming through. And any discoloration I've got, I can still tell it's there. Wow, this is just so smooth. I have the tiniest bit of peeling happening on my chin and I can't even see it with this powder. Like, if this smoothness holds up, it is quite nice. I should have gone a little heavier on the concealer on my under eyes because I feel like I can still see some of my dark circles, but really, I have no complaints. This looks really, really, it just looks really smooth. I don't have another word. Like, my pores and my texture are very minimized. Like, I can barely see them. Like, this is the textured side of my face and I can barely tell it's textured. And the pores, like, they're just missing. I can't even see them here. That's awesome. All right. Like, that was not expected. It's 11:31. Let me go put the rest of my face on. I will be right back. Back with a Natasha Denona High Glam powder foundation. I have to admit, I'm a little surprised at how much I like this. No trouble blending anything, of course. It still looks beautifully smooth. It is not looking dry at all. It's matte, which I'm not used to. And I didn't put any highlight on. Should I put some highlight on? I don't know. Let's just roll with the day. I think it looks lovely. I think the shade actually works really well as well. And I'm kind of surprised on the rest of my face. The Sydney Grace, this is the Tiny Marvels palette, the collab with Mel Thompson, rest in peace. Just been thinking about her again lately, and I'm really glad that I have this palette to wear when I'm thinking of her. I didn't know her personally, but she was a really big influence as far as my coming up in YouTube, and I just got a lot of inspiration from her. She really made me feel like I could do more than I was doing at the time or in different ways. And I feel like she was authentically herself, and that helped me be authentically myself. And now that YouTube turned into like my skincare formulation indie business that I'm growing, wouldn't have even existed if this didn't exist, and I wouldn't have been able to do as well at this if it wasn't for her. So I'm having like a big picture moment with all this, and I've just been thinking about her lately and gone too soon. So that is my eyeshadow. I love that palette. I've got the Essence Stay and Play. I've got the Polite Society mascara on my eyes. There's no surprises here. I don't know why. The Usual Suspects. Balm Desert Bronzer. Lawless in Juicy Watermelon for my blush. My lip, still no surprises. Lawless. This is the Cherry Vanilla. Forget the Filler gloss. Is there anything else on my face? L'Oreal Brow Lamination, even though it's probably already falling down. It's just not quite enough hold for me, but it's close. And when I wear my bangs down, close is good enough, because you really can't see my brows anyway. And I think that's all the things. So I'm going to go to work. Hopefully I'll remember to get a daylight check-in before we are out of daylight. We haven't hit daylight savings time yet, at least, or, you know, when it goes back. So hopefully I will catch daylight before it ends. I'll be out of class in time. Yeah, today I should be out of class in time. Okay, try to figure out what day it is, you know? Yeah, here we go. All right, I'm going to go do all the things. I'll give you a daylight check-in in a bit, and I will come back tonight, give you guys my final thoughts. It is 5:51. Here is where we're at. I'm getting my first look in the mirror, so to speak, as well. Got like tree light on me, so I'm half shadow, half sunlight. I feel like I've lost a lot of coverage. Chin and nose in particular. But I think the smoothness is still there. Here's our shade. I did just bring the garbage can in, which requires walking uphill. So I think any dewy reflect might be sweat, but no. That's where we're at. All right. I'll be back tonight. We'll see how we go. I had to turn the camera on real quick because look, it's not Ziva. Ziva's actually behind you now, behind the camera. That's Charlie. That's Charlie the kitten. Hey, Charlie. She jumped up right after Ziva jumped up. Oh, yeah, everyone wants to see your butt. That's what they want to see. Charlie, camera's over here. See? She doesn't understand. Ziva knows what's up. Charlie, no idea. Anyway, back with the NATASHA DENONA. What time is it? Let's check. It is 10:31 p.m. Don't remember what time we started. Before work, I know that. So let's take a look at how this High-Glam powder foundation held up. I can't believe I can't even see my pores. It is so smoothing. As I suspected earlier, I do think I have lost some coverage on my nose, on my chin, and I did have to blow my nose a couple times, so there's that. But I lose coverage with pretty much all my foundations, including liquid ones, so that's not the end of the world. What I really want to know is if I were to try and set one of my liquid foundations with this powder, would it give the same blur that it's giving on its own? I don't know. You know that's going to be the first thing I try tomorrow when I put my face on. Yeah, let me zoom you guys in so you can see just how this turned out. Now, recall I did take this under my eyes, and, you know, while I can see some of my fine lines kind of a little emphasized because of the texture of the powder, or the fact that it is powder, it's not bad at all, honestly. And it did not move around. It did not settle into my lines. It did not cake up anywhere. And it just looks so smooth, especially with pores. Like, some of them that I know exist are invisible. It really is kind of blowing my mind. Blush bronzer still intact. My forehead looks fine. Nothing's moving around. Nothing's settling into lines there. Nothing caked up in between my eyebrows. I mean, it's just, it really, I'm so surprised. There's only one other powder foundation that I've worn that I can wear as a straight up foundation on its own, and I rarely do because I keep it in my purse for emergency makeup days, but it's the one by Makeup Forever. I can't think of the name of it, but this is, I'm shocked. I really am shocked. I can't wear many powder foundations, and my skin has gotten so dry and dehydrated over the last 4 or 5 years as I'm approaching 50 that I feel like I don't even like to set my liquid foundations with powder. I don't wear powder foundation. I don't set with powder. I avoid it unless I have to. But I feel like I'm going to try, because if it looks like this, okay. I might have to use powder. I don't know. Is this going to change me? Am I going to be a changed woman? I don't know. Stay tuned. We'll find out. If I had to give a grade to the NATASHA DENONA HY-GLAM powder foundation, I mean, it's an A. It's one of the best powder foundations I've ever worn, and I need to avoid them because they don't work for me. But Natasha's proving me wrong. Girl's proving me wrong. All right. There you have it. Another episode of Foundation Fest is in the books. I have to get up incredibly early tomorrow because I've been summoned to jury duty, so that's going to be early. Not a morning person. But we're going to have fun with it. It's going to be all good. I've always wanted to be on a jury, so we'll see. We'll see how it goes. We'll see how fun it is. If it's everything that I've always hoped it would be, I don't know. I'm just going to do my civic duty. Yeah. What are you guys doing? What would you like to see me do next year? Let me know in the comments down below. And check me out over on Patreon. I post extra stuff, sales that I come across, any kind of, I don't know, things I'm interested in, things I'm doing behind the scenes. That stuff goes over on Patreon. And as always, thanks a lot for taking some time out of your day to geek out over makeup with me. I appreciate your time, and I hope you guys all have an awesome day or night wherever you are in the world. Take care of each other. Bye-bye.